And we are on.
Yes, we are.
Episode 1 of Covert Cackles.
And Verbal Tackles.
And Verbal Tackles. Suppose you can just pick up from where we left off, which was Israeli Defence Force. Mad.
I mean, it asks the question why it's still going on when they have that much more of a force.
You would think, yeah, one's playing chess, one's playing checkers.
I just don't get it, though. Like, what's stopping them from just... I mean, they've got that ground force invasion going on.
I don't know.
It takes a week, max.
Well, that thing I saw a thing earlier that was saying, like, there's 0 hospitals now open in Gaza. So, like...
That's crazy.
There's... No one's getting turned back on in Gaza. Like... So, like, surely at some point... I saw another article as well, actually, that said... So, like, they've called it... they're creating a buffer zone.
Mm-hmm.
But what they actually mean is they're killing thousands of civilians and invading land that doesn't belong to them. So, like, 2... like Hague spec war crimes,
yeah.
But they're just creating a buffer zone, man. Like, don't sweat it.
What's the point of this buffer zone? What does it achieve?
Well, yeah, because like a buffer from who to who? Like, the place is empty, and like the people that are in it are the ones you wanted a buffer from. So, if you clear it out, what are you buffering? It's just like madness. It's YouTube on a shit connection, just eternal buffering.
So I was reading something today. If Britain goes to war for whatever reason, they reckon they have to enlist the public. Like, it has to be a draft because they don't have a large enough military force.
I'm gonna fall down every flight of stairs.
But that's what I was
between
thinking,
here
right? Like,
and the UK.
I started getting worried. I was like, God damn. Like,
well, New Zealand
have a chance to be drafted.
I'm not slagging off the New Zealand military, but like in the grand scheme of things, like you guys will send your army, all of it, and the rest of the world will be like, yeah, alright, that'll do. They're not going to be like, no, give us more. Like, you're fucking miles away, and like you could invade New Zealand from the air with a fucking BB gun and a crop duster. Like, go on, you need to add loudly though.
Do you know New Zealand sent 6 people to help?
Is
in Yemen.
Is that the Yemen thing?
To be fair though, apparently New Zealand's like SAS are like fucking badass as fuck. They did training for the Ukrainians as well. Like the SAS got sent over there like specifically just to train civilians how to fucking thug nasty some Russians. Like,
I just imagine them all going over with drones. They're like, listen guys, this is what you're going to do.
Like, here's an Xbox controller.
$14 drones from the warehouse. We've strapped mortars to them, and you're just going to fly them into people.
That's actually genius. Instead of sending over the SAS to train a bunch of adults how to be like military soldiers, train a bunch of children who are already like pros with Xbox controllers how to use those controllers to control a drone instead of a Rocket League car.
I was about to say, it's basically Rocket League. Except the goal explosions are way more
realistic. Imagine what a way to go. Like if
I mean, you will have seen the videos.
If you get killed by one of those, and like when you die, the first thing you see in the afterlife isn't just like a replay of your kill, then that is bullshit.
Yeah, man, it's a fucking wild new kind of warfare. Just a drone buzzing around 400 meters above your head.
Yeah, well, there's that one.
Bombs.
There's this geezer. Fuck knows what his name is. I'll need to look it up. But this geezer does a TED talk, and he's talking about AI drones. And this thing's got like it looks like just like a cap gun attached to it, and he like throws it out over the crowd, and then within like a split second it auto corrects its position and then pops a hole in the head of this mannequin that stood next to the guy.
I have seen that.
It's fucking insane.
It's pretty
that's the other thing.
It's an assassination.
We don't need to. Surely then the British don't need to what's it called? What's the word? Conscript anyone. If you can just launch a big drone with a bunch of cluster bombs. Oh yeah, they're obviously not that arsed about the Geneva Convention. Look at Palestine and Israel and Ukraine and Gaza. Like, the Geneva Convention only really applies if you lose. Like, let's be honest.
That's facts. But yeah, I was thinking about the draft, and I was like, damn, man, like, there's possibility that we get called up to war. And then I realized I'm 28. They go like 20,
Yeah, they
21,
start with the
22,
kids
23, 24, 25,
I don't
18,
know.
19.
I don't know how it works in New Zealand, but in the UK, so our equivalent of IRD number has 2 letters at the start and a letter at the end. And so the letters represent what year you're born in. So like I'm 95, so I'm PA. Maybe I shouldn't disclose. I'm not going to tell you the middle numbers because then you will steal my identity. And then the last letter is C, which means that out of all the now 28-year-olds in Britain, I'm in the 3rd round of the draft. So I've got 18 to 28. All of those motherfuckers have got to die. And then 226. I assume it goes through to Z. 226 of my age group will be dead before me.
Jake is given a submachine gun.
You can imagine.
Into the woods.
I shouldn't be allowed sharp scissors sometimes, to be honest.
See, we're lucky though. We've both had ACLs. We can just be like, I can't walk up.
That is true.
It's a struggle, man. We just be conscientious objectors.
Yeah, like I'd love to help. I'm gonna go to some Palestine rallies. You guys have fun.
I mean, I'll fly the drones, man. I feel like you can be far away
True.
from the action.
We've got like 6 controllers, 7
Yeah.
controllers in this house. We should just write a letter to the army now, just
I'm pretty
saying,
good at Rocket League as well.
and Rocket League, and say, look, we should collab. That could be it. The first
Just these drones doing
the first
mad maneuvers.
CCVT collab. We're collabing with Rocket League and the New Zealand Defence Force to bring you actual death Rocket League warfare. I don't know. Yeah, so it's a buzzy prospect. Like, we could get smoked at any time by anyone in any of these places. So yeah, it's a bit of a
Moral
grim.
of the story: stay away from war. It does feel like we're edging closer and closer to it, though. Like
Well,
every
I
day.
mean, it's, I don't know. Paz said something earlier that kind of made sense, which is rare. And he was like, they're just testing us with shit. So like, obviously they suggest like some grand conspiracy. I'm not that tin hat, but you don't need to be that tin hat to be like, was COVID potentially like some sneaky social conditioning exercise? Maybe. Like, they're having a fucking all-out warfare and wiping people off the face of the earth, and everyone's just watching it on TV and is like, oh yeah, that's shocking, we should care about that. But like, as much as like power to you going and protesting outside the whatever embassy in New Zealand, is showing discontent going to change the situation from this far away? And like, in the grand scheme of things, if New Zealand go, we are calling for a ceasefire, if I'm the Israeli Prime Minister, I'm going, well, you're gonna have to call fucking louder because I can't hear you from over here. Like, he's gonna like, nah, sorry.
Really just powerless to do
Like,
anything. I think. Although some would disagree with that a lot.
Well, I mean,
that's the reason people are out there doing these things.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it definitely, like, it makes a difference in the social kind of, like, it raises awareness of it. It means that people don't just, like, I don't know, it's almost like just like makes it more news. Like, it just means that more people get it in front of them, but then it's just more people aware of it, but like not actually really capable of doing anything tangible to fix it. Like, at this point, like, if you're donating money to like help, you're not donating money to help the fight because Hamas are a terrorist organization allegedly, but you're just donating money to help survivors. Like, you've seen on the news like a tangible switch in all of the wording around it. It's now like,
but see, I can get behind that. Like, help people that are in bad situations. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but if you help, how do you? Like, the other question is, where are all these people going as well? Surely the best thing New Zealand could do to help is just be like, I don't know, Invercargill looks pretty dank, kids. Like, and inject a few thousand people into that economy. Or, I don't know, sorry people from Invercargill, but like, fuck, there's a reason that there's not a million people living in Invercargill, and it's not because it's sick. But
that's fair. A lot of meth.
But there'll be meth and opiates. I feel like Palestine's probably opiate city.
Well, that probably is, but probably because you can grow it there as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't see anyone growing
poppies
down in Invercargill. Although if you could, they would do it.
Could be dank. That would make Invercargill way more presentable.
I mean, I'd go down.
I'd be
Check it out.
like anywhere look like it would make fucking Invercargill look like Disneyland. It'd be fucking skicks.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It would definitely be a buzzy affair. Yeah, I was also thinking earlier, just on a tangent.
Yeah.
So you got those what they called Hayokitsu.
Oh yeah.
Those fucking RTD lemonades. So they had on their box #1 RTD in Japan.
Yes, they did.
And then Boss Coffee, #1 fucking coffee in a can in Japan.
Yeah.
That should be their motto. If it isn't, it's something way less fun to say than that. But it should be that. So, like, what else represents itself as like #1 in Japan, which got me thinking. So I was like, what's like top of the charts? And I was like, surely like the hub's gotta be dirt in Japan. It's gonna be tentacles for days.
Just
but then
tentacles.
that then got me thinking, how many categories are there in Japan where tentacles is the #1 answer? So like sushi, tentacles could be the top sushi. On the hub, top category could be tentacles.
Very well.
What else could be tentacles? Like top sex toy sold, just like a little tentacle arm, some shit.
That's dirt though. Yuck. Ugh.
They
I respect it. Everyone has their own proclivities, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I obviously once I'd travelled a bit, like loads of food became like less mad. Like what I mean is like, before I'd like been traveling, to me like eating squid was mad. I was like, that is dirt. Why the fuck would you do that? And then I went to Thailand and walked down fucking Koh San Road, or is that
and
one
what,
in Vietnam?
Dog and cockroach and decided squid
bro,
wasn't all that
all
bad.
sorts, bro. I was eating scorpions and all sorts, and
That's
I was like,
fucking
fuck,
hectic.
actually, you know what, maybe I'll eat cauliflower. I'm actually I don't dislike it that much.
I hate cauliflower. Boo cauliflower.
I don't know, I'm like, it's one of those, I don't know if there's any of those things when you were a kid, but like my entire childhood, my mum was like, when you're older, your taste buds are going to change. And I was like, no, fuck
Pure
you,
lies.
Mum, I'm always going to hate broccoli and
When I
tomatoes.
moved out of my parents' house, I was pulling all my shit out of my drawers and I found maybe 100 dried up pieces of vegetable that I'd hidden in my room from when I was a kid. And I'd like stick pieces of cauliflower in the back of my sock drawer or like behind books in my room because I was being forced to eat it and didn't want to.
That's
So-
fucking hilarious.
Little black pieces of dried up cauliflower being found.
That is nice. I don't know if I never really got away with that, like, but then also I think that was a combination of like, there was some things my mum just knew better than to even put in something. Like, she was like, this is just going to result in culinary disaster because he's just not going to eat.
Now see, I'd just be walked up on and given 3 pieces of raw broccoli and just been like, you're fucking eating this.
Oh, nah, none of that. I'd have had a fucking meltdown.
Oh, I had many a meltdown, but
My my solution was just pick it out and then demolish everything else other than what I didn't like, and just leave the thing I didn't like and be like, but I literally ate everything else. Like, come on,
yeah.
you want it in the food, so you can have it, but I don't necessarily need that fucking weird leaf bullshit. But also, that was my main gripe as a child, was salad, like rocket salad. I was like, what the fuck is the point in eating that? It smells like a bush. It probably tastes like a bush.
It's like eating grass.
It's just, yeah, like fucking, I've got better shit to eat. But then now my mum was right. And so I've like started appreciating a bit of rocket in Summit.
Mum was right.
Standard. Have you had any like things like that, like where they've been like, just do this because it'll help you out in this way, or like eventually when you're older you're gonna feel this way about something?
I was such a anti-vegetable kid, and then growing up, getting into like late teens, just being like, it's actually pretty fucking important.
I fucking, for years I didn't eat potatoes. I made a fucking absolute mess. I was like, I fucking hate eating baked. It was specifically
Did you eat
baked
French fries. Like
it was specifically baked potatoes. I was like, fuck off, I'm not eating that. And like, this was the thing, is so this happened for like 7 years. It wasn't until I was, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8. I was missing out on, like, my mum makes banging baked potatoes, like buttery, cheesy, dippy, fucking extravaganzas, spring onion, like veg and shit. Like, it's lit. And what was on the side? Rocket. Didn't eat it. So I literally just had a whole plate of misery. And then one day I just woke up in the morning and I thought, you know what? Baked potatoes could be the one. And now I'm a baked
And then it was.
Honestly, it's just such a simple thing to be like, why the fuck don't I like that?
Yeah.
Oi, stop washing things, you.
Yeah, fucking prick.
So apologies to the couple of listeners. Sammy Harris has decided, not the American Sammy Harris, he's decided to wash his plates while we're casting. But
Rude bastard.
he will be one of the guests on the cast at some point. That's the other thing. That's the thing we got to talk about. How many casts do we do? Like, minimum. What's the minimum number of casts we do before? Like, if it's still just us two listening to it, we're like, okay, that's we've done X amount of podcasts too many.
Well, that depends, man. I mean,
Well, apparently it's 50 casts is what it takes for you to, like, build even, like, a following
a
that's
small
like,
following.
like, not even, when I say a small following, I mean like one person that's not in your social circle, and then the rest
Yeah.
of it's just your mates, like, pity listening
Yeah.
and hoping you say something funny.
It depends what the goal is, right? Like,
It's just like chat shit, really, and
exactly.
get
Like,
like
if we're having
interesting
fun
people on to
and-
have chats about stuff that's interesting.
if I can look back on it and not be like completely absorbed with either cringe or just hatred for listening to myself.
Yeah, it
And
does
like,
get a
it's
bit
fun
like
at the time. Why stop?
that. Yeah. Well, eventually what will happen is either it'll be a really good cast and it'll do alright, or we'll hate hearing each other's voice and it'll be a disaster and we'll all have to move out.
Yeah. I'll end up killing you, Jake.
I mean, I feel like there's been
Sam's
other
in the
occasions you
background
feel
just
that you
cleaning and drying dishes as quietly as humanly possible.
Sam Harris is putting away plates like a ninja in slow motion. Never mind.
Too good.
Apologies to the eardrums of our listeners. I mean, you've already suffered through 54 minutes.
You're kidding.
54 minutes of our voice.
That can't be right.
Maybe not.
Has it been recording like the entire time since we first set up?
Nah, I don't think it is. I think it's recorded in beats. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many beats per second.
We're figuring it out, folks. We'll get there.
Yeah, we're learning as we go. Essentially, the podcast consists of my laptop with a free version of GarageBand and 2 microphones that are of reasonable averageness.
You forgot
That
the
hopefully
2
won't
absolute
break.
spaz lords as well.
And yeah, like, the funniest thing is they're all the things that I've said that suck way less than we do. They're
But as
like,
I said, we'll get there.
every day's a school day.
50 podcasts. Maybe that's the goal.
50 casts.
Maybe 50 casts.
What day is it?
What day of
Thursday.
the week? Yes, Thursday.
Thursday. So Thursday's casting.
Thursday cast. We'll have training on Thursdays.
Oh, don't want to do Mondays because Mondays are
Yeah,
shite
Mondays are
and
shit enough as they are.
miserable.
I mean, Wednesday would work. Or Wednesday or Sunday, right?
Sunday's dangerous, like, because it could go either way.
And it will
Like,
go either
and
way.
it means that like whether, like, because if we're doing it 50 casts, like, and it's every Sunday, you've got to, like, regardless of what shape you're in, you've got to be on the cast.
Yeah.
And
I can see myself not doing that.
well, yeah, but like I'll gaffer tape a microphone to your sleeping head and annoy
And
you
just
by
listen to me
keeping you awake.
cry.
I mean, then also, out of the two of us, who gets the worst hangovers, and if it went the other way.
Are you saying that I get the worst hangover?
No,
or
I'm
you
saying
get the
I
worst?
get the
I was
worst
going to
hangovers.
say I have never seen a man in the kind of state
Bro,
that you
bad
were
shape.
in my first night in Gisborne over New Year.
Bro, bad shape.
My God, Jake, you were rocking back and forth.
It was just like, I think I'm not playing excuses here, but like, I'm Scottish, so like I grew up in, like, summer was like, I don't know, this is a spitball, but like 17 degrees was hot, and I'm cruising around in like 24 degrees at what time was that? 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
fuck off.
It was
So,
a blistering heat.
I'm hanging out my ass, banging headache, mouth dry as a badger's ass, and my body can't regulate its heat because I was on medication that caused me to have irregular heat management. That's the weirdest way to put it, but you know what I mean.
Apparently I do.
And it caused me to not be able to control my body heat, but it was already hot, so I thought it was hot, cold, but I was actually roasting and sweating, and so I'd put a jumper on and sweat more. That was the level of lack of control I had over my temperature.
Pure fucked upness.
Miserable. And then I was waiting to get in the shower, and Sam Cunt was just fucking in there for years, so I was just pacing between
Definitely Paz
the bottom of the stairs.
His mornings where he stands outside the shower for 40 seconds and goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah, when he does that, and I'm just like, mate, what do you mean? I got in the shower fucking 5 minutes ago. And the best thing is it's always the times when that's genuinely the case. Don't get me wrong, fucking hell, yeah, I've been in the shower for 25 minutes, no dramas, but those the times where he's kicked off, I've been like, bro, I literally just got in, give me a fucking break. That'd be like me coming home from work and Sammy being in the bathroom and being like, get the fuck out. He's not getting out of there.
You bitch, I deserve this bathroom.
He's fucking busy.
He looked like he wanted to say something there. He's bit his tongue.
Right, have you ever seen NASA's specially designed coffee cup?
No, but I'd love to see it.
It can't spill, and it looks exactly like a vagina.
Bro.
I
Didn't see that.
So we've got, what is it? A
Oh,
NASA
fuck.
coffee cup.
Right, we've got NASA's coffee cup designed specifically not to spill in zero gravity. Dude. It's like a dumpling.
What the fuck?
It's like a really meaty vagina.
Yeah.
Yikes. You reckon, what's her name? What's the name of that bird that was selling the smell of her fanny as perfume?
That's fucked.
I'll go get the jar first.
I feel like that's something you would know, Sam.
No, what was her name? It was called Goop or something like that.
Goop. Oh, that's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow,
That's
yeah.
her thing. Yeah.
It was candles, wasn't it?
Oh, you can buy anything off her. You can buy fucking pieces of plastic that tune your balls into
Violence.
the world. I don't know what kind of shit.
But yeah, so she has candles that smell like her fanny. But is she being honest? Does her fanny even smell remotely like it, or does it smell a bit dirt?
We have to buy one of these candles now and
Oh no!
and catch a whiff. No, because I feel like she would lie and she'd make it smell really good.
Yeah,
And be
100%.
This is exactly how I smell.
Do you reckon she then just rubs her candles on her fanny every time she goes in public, just so that if anyone tries to paparazzi a sniff, it smells the same? Paz would be a good sniffing paparazzi.
He would be. He would be.
A snifferazzi.
I'm feeling like that's a word no one's ever said.
Yeah, I feel like it might be. I keep fucking trying to sit down.
Can we talk about how addicted I am to vaping and how much this fucking sucks not being able to do it?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was talking to someone at work earlier about it, and I was just like, it's weird because I've tried drugs that have been pretty moreish, but not as moreish as a vape, and kids have vapes over here.
I know. It's crazy. You see 16-year-olds, just groups of these little ruffians walking around with vapes.
Do you know what I think they should do? I think they should add something to vapes that if you do too much of it, it makes you gurn. So you can't vape too much, otherwise you're gonna look fucked and you're gonna get sacked.
I mean, what would you have to add to it?
MDMA.
Just coated around the mouth.
No, it's got to be. It's got to be an amphetamine of some type. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's amphetamines that make your
really
jaw
get
swing.
the gurn going.
And your eyes big. So 100%. We need to create vegetable glycerin infused with amphetamines, and we'll be on.
Yeah. Have you seen the that new caffeine supplement that's being marketed? It's called Bump. It's literally being sold in little, like, pill containers, white powder, and it's called Bump.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Is that in New Zealand as well?
I don't know if it's in New Zealand, but I've been seeing this around. I've seen people talk about it.
Bro,
They are marketing sniffable caffeine.
You like
Have a bump.
I don't know. It's kind of like, I reckon if you look at like fucking the business directory and look at the directors of that company, they're probably all coke lords, and they're like, aha, this will get them onto the white powder that they're allowed while they're underage. And then once they get to a pub and find some geezer with a bag, they're like, that looks familiar. Bosh, cokehead marketing 101.
Every kid wanted to sniff something or sniffed something.
Yeah, what's the weirdest thing you've ever sniffed?
The weird.
By that I mean like
directions.
Put up your nose, not like
Like
I know
actually
you've
sniff.
definitely
I don't
been
know if
sniffing
I've
some oddities.
insufflated any weird things. Just, you know.
Sure, but
the
at my
regular-
school
the
was
regular
like
stuff.
the thing. Smoking candy cigarettes, pretending, because in Scotland it was
Yeah.
cold enough that you could like breathe in
Yeah.
and then breathe out, and it would actually look
that
like
was
smoke.
definitely a thing. Did you ever do the cinnamon quills?
Cinnamon
You
isn't
never
like
did that.
the
Like, you know how you have a quill of cinnamon, like the actual.
like
Like,
the
it looks like a
you
cigar.
get
first of
chocolatey
all.
ones.
No, it's like
Of
a cinnamon quill.
No,
Like,
I have no
it
idea.
looks
what
a
that
bit
is.
like a cigar. You can light one end and puff away on it, and it smokes perfectly like a cigar. Well, not perfectly like a cigar, but
It
relatively
smokes
close
like
enough.
well enough.
And it tastes kind of
Does it make you cough
cinnamony.
shitloads?
You don't breathe that shit in.
Oh,
Like,
it's
you're
just
hitting it like
you
a
just,
cigar. You're just like, and you're 14 years old with your mate that lives 2 doors down, puffing cinnamon quills out in the front yard, thinking you're fucking cool.
I mean, sounds pretty cool to me.
No, I mean-
I just remember sitting outside my primary school with the little like lolly, the like candy sticks, and just like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm fucking hard me. Look at me go. And in actual fact, I was.
Yeah, you sound like you're a bit of a delinquent back in what, high school, primary school?
Primary school mostly. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, I think like, I was just like a mouthy cunt, and then I came to New Zealand and like just got hiding and was like, okay, I'll chill out. Like, sound. But nah, in the UK, I think if I'd stayed in the UK, I'd have been like, either, I don't know what I'd have done, to be honest. Because I don't think I would have done well at school at all.
You think you'd have done worse in the UK?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Do you think that's because it's harder over there?
And no, I think it's because I was one in like however many more at my school. Like I was one in
Yeah,
2,000 at my school
Yeah, true.
in Scotland, and I was a mouthy little shit, and they had loads of other cunts to deal with that were dickheads. Whereas Kiwis are generally pretty chilling, like, and even the dickheads, it's like,
They're not that bad.
yeah, like
There's no pouring pig's blood on
you
people
tell them
at
to
the-
sit
at the
outside,
dance or
and they'll
something.
go and sit outside. They won't
Yeah.
walk down the hallway booting in windows.
Yeah.
Like there was this guy. What will I call him instead of his actual name? Marvin. That I went to school with, and he was like the first kid at my school, which is just the most like verge name instead of like name dropping some guy. I mean, no one's listening to this. There's this guy Dylan. There was this guy
Name drop
Dylan,
him.
and he was like the first kid that I knew, like ever, that smoked weed. Bearing in mind, like as a full scale idiot when I was a kid, like I didn't know my parents smoked weed my entire childhood till I was like 13, 14. Like, because someone came around our house and was like, "Your house smells like my house." And I was like, "So? That's weird. Maybe we use the same
Your dad
Febreze." And
smells
she was
like
like,
my
"No,
dad."
look, there's a rock of hash sitting on the bookcase. You reject." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Oh shit, I had a similar experience. I remember the first time I ever was exposed to weed was going around to like my 14, 15-year-old girlfriend's house and smelling it, and then her freaking out and being like, "He promised he wouldn't do that while you were here." I was like, "Do what?" Like, what? It smells weird, but like, I don't know what it is.
It smells good.
Yeah.
Can your dad give me some of that?
Yeah, goddamn.
But yeah, no, the aroma of weed gave the game away. What was I
As
saying?
it often does. As it often does.
I can't remember what we were talking about before that.
Was it Marvin?
Marvin, yeah. So yeah, Dylan is his actual name. Sorry, lad, but you get name dropped, but yeah, bro, he was like, I don't know. We I was about to say he was like 4 foot tall, but like we were all like 4 foot tall at that point. But like he was shorter than the rest of us, and so like, again, if I'm probably gonna he's gonna be like a fucking 6'6" beefcake now and fly over and kick my cunt in. But he was a little dude, but he had like a bit of wee man syndrome vibes. And he was a bit of a Ned, and so he was like smoking weed and coming to class, and like he like reeked like of weed and had like massive puffy red eyes, and he just sat in class, and like all of us he's like, no, I'm not stoned, and all of us don't know what stoned looks like, and we're like, okay, yeah, well, yeah, maybe he's just he looked well allergic to something, having no idea what's going on. And the teacher just takes one look at him and it's just like, out. Which in hindsight probably means that the teachers were well sound.
That's fair, yeah.
Did you have teachers that were like just sound at school? Like out of all, like there were some teachers that were just like you'd take them or leave them, but there was teachers where it was like, oh yeah, I'm in that class, that's fucking sound.
Yes, man. Like we've all the guys I went to high school with, there's like a select group of teachers that maybe 10 plus occasions we've ended up out drinking with them as adults, and just hearing the stories of the things you did in their classes, but from that perspective, from like the teacher being like the one that was raging at you. It's like a hilarious story that you bring up all the time around your mates. Then you're like sitting there having a beer with the teacher that was screaming at you. You're like, what were you thinking? And he's like, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. Like, I had no choice but to call you a fucking idiot.
I mean, it do be like that.
Yeah.
I've never got on the piss with teachers before, but I had, who did I have? Mr. Squire in Scotland at Hindland. He was the techie teacher. I feel like everyone had a techie teacher or two that were sound. Yeah. Like, they were either like sound because they were young, or they were sound because they were like crippled alcoholics. Like,
ours was the latter.
Glasgow had loads of them. Oh, also like in hindsight a favourite, but at the time hated him. Had this guy called Mr. McNichol, and he used to play for Preston North End, and he was built like a fucking brick shithouse. But he had an inflection at the end of his voice, like a Kiwi, but with a Scottish accent, and angry. So he'd be like, I'm going to go away from the mic because it's going to be... He'd be like, my name is Mr. Squire, and I will be teaching you maths. And just like raise up his voice at the end of every sentence. It was like,
I can almost picture him now.
It was just because he knew.
I'm imagining a ginger moustache as well.
Oh,
is that at home?
Nah, he's bald. Oh. He's too old to have him. Well, that sounds bad. But then he used to just go out for... Like, so we'd go out and play football or whatever on the AstroTurf, or go out because we could leave school during breaks, and he'd just be stood in an alleyway down the side of the school just chaining fags with the French teacher, Miss Sanderson. It was like her and him were the only teachers in the school that smoked out the front. They were just like, don't give a fuck.
Yeah, shit.
You'll learn someday.
Can I ask your thoughts on the Strickland Drickus fight? I know we were sitting here in a bit of a state watching it. But
I don't know. I feel like I've kind of got a bit of an unpopular opinion. Like, so like watching the fight back, like in more detail, it's a lot closer than I thought. But at the time, like unless you would have to have been sat scoring it hit for hit, like, for it to be close, because visually it looked like from round 3 onwards, Drickus was tired, and Strickland was tired, and Drickus was in the ascendancy and was like, had him on the ground, was grappling him, was like on the attack a bit more, but he wasn't necessarily landing as many, but like he was doing, like, you saw Strickland's face, bro. He got, well, I mean, they both got fucking pieced up.
I think it's interesting because how many people now have, like, I haven't seen a fight finish and there'd be such differing opinions amongst like everyone that talks about it. Was like, just one person saying Strickland definitely won. Someone like Cormier coming out and saying that. I don't know if it was him. And then
it was a really
other
close fight, like, bro. Dana came out in the post fight and was like, "Yeah, I thought Strickland won the fight, like outright." And then Drickus is up getting interviewed, and they're like, "Oh, so what are your thoughts on people that say that?" Oh no, it's not even that. He's like, "Oh, just for the record, like, do people think that I lost?" And I think it's I can't remember the geezer's name from the Mac Life. He's sound as fuck. He interviews Dan Hooker heaps. Is like, so does that mean Like, does that mean, like, what about Dana? Like, he said that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what? He's like, what does he say? He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, fuck that. I won.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, I think if he watches it back, he'll know. Like,
But see, sitting there, I thought it was if either one of them won, there was going to be contention across the board. Like, it's just such a close one.
yeah, it would have had to have been, like, really convincing. Like, but I don't know. I just had a feeling that, because I've not really seen an example of Drickus having, like, a weak chin, like, getting, like, parked on his arse aggressively, like, and he's won, like, a fair few fights by submission. Like, he's big and he can march forward, but, like, Mason was saying when he was around, like, he's got a real awkward style where, like, it doesn't, like, look like he's learned how to throw punches from someone that knows how to throw punches. But, like, his grappling is, like, sufficient enough that if your main game is striking, he's a problem. Like, I think, and then this is where Mason will probably disagree with me, but that makes him a problem for Adesanya, because, like, can Adesanya wrestle? Yes. But is it at, like, an insane level? We've only seen him grapple once in recent times, and, like, yes, he did well, but, like, not against someone who, like, was decent at wrestling. Like, I say that, and that the more I think about that, I think that's actually
Strickland in a stand-up game, because I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of wrestling, was it?
Yeah, nah, but that's because he had just, like, control. Like, Strickland just couldn't move, or there was a lot of wriggling for bits. But I don't know. I think, yeah. What do you reckon? Round 3, round 4, round 5.
I have I haven't rewatched it at all. I have a bit of a foggy memory of it. But I remember my takeaways, and that was when the fight started. Obviously, I had no idea who was going to win.
Yeah.
Going through first round, Strickland pieced him up. It almost looked like he was untouchable.
Yeah.
Second round, a bit of that as well. He was
bobbing
almost
and
putting another Adesanya beatdown on him.
Yeah, it was looking like it could go that way.
But whatever changes had to be made in Drickus' corner to readjust. He's
Drickus had fucking Alejandro. What's his name? Not Alejandro Pantoja. What's his name? The fucking geezer that just fought Izzy. My brain's gone.
Oh, that was in Sean's corner. Fucking.
Oh, was that in Sean's corner?
Yeah.
Pereira, Alex
Pereira.
Pereira. Fuck, sorry. Yeah.
Had him sitting there. You know, he's fucking starched Sean Strickland as well.
Yeah.
Having him in your corner is like, ooh. Can you imagine having the guy that fucking knocked you out on a world stage?
But then surely, like, that's
come and help you out.
Yeah, but, like, surely that's a misplay from Strickland, because, like, middleweight is very, like, Pereira could come back, like, he would have to cut weight aggressively, and he couldn't miss weight again. But, like, Pereira could come back to middleweight, and, like, if he's been in your corner, he knows all your secrets, fool. Like,
yeah, but
he's not in your corner. Like, if you're in someone's corner, you're seeing their deepest, darkest training. Whereas, like, if you're cornering for someone, you can corner for someone and not give away, like, loads of your tactics. You can teach them a couple of bits and bobs, but if you think you're going to be fighting for the championship against them at any point, you keep a couple moves up your sleeve, surely.
Yeah, I see that. If there's any chance.
And, like, to be honest, like, Pereira just looks like he should be kicking fuck out of people. Like, he's, like, such a freak.
He looks like the Easter Island heads. I've seen the memes going around.
Bro, he's a freak.
Yeah,
a legitimate freak.
Can you imagine squaring up to one of those guys and just having them look down on you?
Not really, eh?
Pretty fucking fearsome sight. Just knowing what you're in for.
But why can't I? I'm just trying to see if I can do minutes. Nah.
Hey, Sammy.
We'll figure it out before the next cast.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just trying to figure out how many minutes we're going for. This is going to be, like, either so annoyingly long that you don't want to listen to it, or you've made it this far and, like.
And then
thanks.
props to you, mate. You made it through the test run. You know, we can only get better from here.
Should we cast end here, or should we continue?
I think it's probably a good idea.
Test cast 1. This is, what is it? What was your nickname for the day?
Oh, what was my nickname for the day? Oh, Double Dinner.
Your Double Dinner. This is Double Dinner and Horse Leg signing out.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.